News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buona domenica.
Pope Leo XIV, new pope from Chicago, calling for a just and lasting peace in Ukraine, and also an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, as he made his first Sunday noon blessing as pontiff, saying he addresses the world's great powers by repeating the ever-present call, quote, never war again. He spoke from the loggia, or covered outdoor gallery, of St. Peter's Basilica. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky is calling Russian President Vladimir Putin's peace talks proposal a positive sign, but insists on a ceasefire first. Ukraine and multiple European countries backed by the U.S. want a 30-day ceasefire starting tomorrow. French President Emmanuel Macron in Kyiv.
I think our common objective is to secure this unconditional ceasefire for 30 days.
French President Emmanuel Macron there. Russia's Putin, though, is proposing direct talks with Ukraine in Istanbul on May 15 without preconditions. As President Trump gets ready to visit the Middle East this coming week, reports say the Trump administration is set to accept a luxury jet as a gift from Qatar. And in what ABC calls possibly the most valuable gift ever extended from a foreign government to the U.S., the luxury jet gifted by Qatar is set to be used as Air Force One. It's a super luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar. And the report says shortly before Trump leaves office, ownership of this plane will be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation. Iran and the U.S. have begun a fourth round of negotiations over Tehran's nuclear program. Those talks in Oman seek to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of some of the crushing economic sanctions the U.S. has imposed on the Islamic Republic. Investors are keeping a very close eye on events in Geneva, where U.S. and Chinese negotiators are meeting again today after marathon trade talks yesterday. President Trump says negotiators in Switzerland had a very good meeting yesterday. He calls it on Truth Social a total reset, negotiated in a friendly but constructive manner. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and China's Vice Premier are leading those negotiations. Investors this coming week also watching to see how much tariffs are driving prices higher for U.S. consumers. A report on consumer prices comes out Tuesday. It'll probably show a pickup in price increases. Retail sales come Thursday. They're expected to show some anxiety over rising prices. If you're doing some last-minute Mother's Day shopping for mom, watch for higher chocolate prices. More from Bloomberg's Tom Busby.
Nestle is raising prices in the U.S. on some of its most popular chocolate products like Toll House cookie morsels, baking cocoa, and fudge kits starting on June 23rd. The food giant is blaming surging prices on commodities like cocoa and sugar after its suppliers had to raise their prices. So bottom line, expect to pay more at the grocery store. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
The world's largest oil producer feeling the pain of lower crude prices. Saudi Aramco's net income declining 4.6% to about $26 billion in the first quarter. And Bloomberg's Anthony DePaola in Dubai says production boosts could help ease the pain for Saudi Aramco, but
they're being impacted by low oil prices, which we've seen this month hit a 4-year low. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market around trade, tariffs, the future of the economy, and some concerns about the strength of demand. So that's hurting the oil price, along with the decision by OPEC Plus to increase production. They're going with some sizable increases for May and June as they decide to bring production back.
And DePaola also says this could mean more pain for the Saudi government, or at least more borrowing. Brent crude is trading near $64 a barrel, significantly below the $92 level the IMF estimates the kingdom needs to balance its spending. Man Group is said to be in talks to acquire a credit firm. We get more on what's happening at the world's largest publicly traded hedge fund from Bloomberg's Ed Kalegi.
Man Group is in discussions to acquire credit firm Barton Hill Investment Partners. A deal could be signed as soon as this month. Representatives for Man Group and Barton Hill declined to comment. Higher rates, the banking industry's retreat from lending, and the opportunity for lucrative fees are attracting a raft of money managers into the $1.6 trillion private credit market, helping transform it into a mainstream offering. Ed Kalegi, Bloomberg Radio.
Thank you, Ed. And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Denise Pellegrini, and this is Bloomberg.